You've probably grabbed a packet of chips, cold drink, or perhaps a 99 rupees meal from a smart vending machine in your school, in your college, apartment complex, office, or maybe a metro station. But who is behind this fast-growing vending commerce machine trend in India? And to discuss that on Big Business Bet, I have with me Ms. Prerna Kalra, of the co-founder of Dalchini Technologies, to understand how smart kiosks, AI, and retail, fast retail, how is all of that reshaping India's, consumers, how they are consuming, how they are shopping and eating. Prerna, thank you for joining me on Beyond today. Firstly, before we talk about the next leg of growth, I also want to talk about your numbers. You've clocked, record revenue, doubled the revenue in the past year. EBITDA is up nearly 6 times. So just want to understand, do you think in the segment that you operate in, it's hit economies of scale and it's now beyond that cash burning stage? And if so, how sustainable do you think profitability is?
So I would say that consumer behavior in India is overall is changing, right? And people are moving, people don't have time, people want everything instantly. And if you look at, that was the reason that quick commerce boomed up, right? And when you talk about quick commerce, so when the quick commerce for your out of home needs, when you are at office, a college, maybe in a transit point like a metro station or a gas station, how do you experience quick commerce still over there? That's what Dalchini brings in, right? So for your the same quick commerce experience to the consumer, and that is the reason that we were able to clock double our revenue. Even when we have just maybe touched the tip of the iceberg, right? So that's what I would like to say over here.
Right. You just talked about touching the tip of the iceberg. So you have a target of achieving 11,000 machines by FY27, right? That is March 2027. So how are you going to do that? As you scale in, say, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, how are you going to do that with the supply chain costs rising? How will you protect your margins, which are newly found, like you said, tip of the iceberg?
So I would say that when I thought of Dalchini as an idea, I never thought that this is meant for people in glass offices of Gurgaon, right? I actually wanted it to touch even that guard who's sitting right outside that building. So it should be able to cater to the entire ecosystem, the entire workforce of India. And that is when you say, right, that we have a target of 11,000 vending machines this year. But that is something that is easily achievable because we feel, and based on the data that we have, there are still about 20 lakh plus location that we have identified that can be possible location for keeping these vending machines, because we are not just targeting the office goers, the corporate white collar worker, but we are targeting the entire workforce, be it MSME segment. Today, if I talk about in any industry, be it automobiles, pharma, right, consulting, textiles, in all of these industries, we find that there is a consumer need. People want quick commerce. And how do we deliver quick commerce when people are there in these locations? That is what Dalchini brings for them.
Understood. And you've also gone into segments beyond just midnight snacking, just chips and cold drinks. So there was also a recent Supreme Court ruling where there was a push for hygiene in office. So speaking of that, following the legal push, how much have you seen your enterprise growth coming from other products like, say, personal growth, apart from the snacking items that are available on vending machines? So just want to understand if the office pantry is actually becoming an office kiosk now.
And I would say that beyond food, the categories that we look into, definitely the first and most growing, fastest growing category is actually personal care products, which includes beauty, hygiene, cosmetics, everything. These are growing because these are also last minute need that the consumer may have, right? You may be just out of your gym and you may want a spray of perfume. That's a need. Consumers are identifying that need, and Dalchini is trying to fulfill that. You may be out of your sanitary napkins or panty liners, right? And you are in office. Well, how do you solve it? Dalchini is bringing that to you immediately. And for all these small needs, consumer is not willing to pay 20, 30 rupees or delivery cost just for one small unit that they want to buy. And if V-commerce, so to say, or quick commerce driven by these vending machines can solve it, it actually is impacting the consumer's life in those locations.
Understood. And there's also competition from the likes of Blinkit and Zepto. And you were mentioning that people would not prefer paying a delivery cost of, say, 20, 30 rupees for a small item. Now, they promise delivery in 10 minutes. You've brought them in, 10 seconds. So I just want to understand, could there be a time where we could see, Dalchini vending machines becoming a dark store for players like Zepto and Blinkit, where they would pick up the products from here and deliver in, say, 10 minutes?
I would say that we have to see what kind of consumer demand we are solving today. And when you are at home, your basket size is 200 to 350, 400 rupees. You can easily add another item to your basket to be able to avoid any kind of delivery charges. But when you are at home, you actually want a very small single unit consumption pack. Maybe a pack of chips, not a family pack, but maybe a small 1 unit pack, right? And that there is no possibility that any of the quick commerce or e-commerce platform will be able to deliver it efficiently, sustainably. Obviously, in a cash burn phase, everybody does it, right? But sustainably, will that be possible? The answer is no. Second is that when you talk about convenience, and which is what the consumer is looking at, right? In a large office complex, even if I order today, I will in this office also will have to go to the reception and collect it, which is not very convenient. Same thing is for a factory complex, right? In an industrial plant, if you have to collect it from a quick commerce delivery, you may have to go to the main gate to collect it, which is again not convenient for the consumer. And that's, you are at a transit point, again, that's not so there are, I would say, three aspects. One is the basket size, which is for us, the basket size varies from 30 rupees to at max 99 rupees in most cases, right? So that is where we are able to target the consumer, where we are able to solve the consumer need. So basket size. Second is that we are instant, right? And third is more convenient because we are right at their maybe a 10-meter away versus going to the main gate to collect it.
Right. Speaking of convenience, you also have the OFT model, right? It's Order for Tomorrow system that uses AI to predict demand. So how close are you to a personalized vending machine? Say if I want to, if I have a night shift tomorrow and the machine can be made aware, so these are the kind of products I like. So it'll probably stock up all of that. How close are you to, having something personalized as that?
We still, I would say, we are able to cater to only 70 to 80% demand of that location, because still that location, that vending machine is serving about 100 to 200 people sitting on that office floor, right? So from that, we are able to cater to about 70 to 80%. But we also have to look at that the prediction and the most accurate prediction is the battle that we are trying to solve, because unlike a dark store which has at least 1,000 SKUs, our vending machine would at max have about 50 to 60 SKUs. So how do you cater to the demand of that consumer in that office, right? In that 50 to 60 SKU is what we are trying to build. That's where data comes into picture. That's where our whole tech stack comes into picture, that how efficiently we are able to do that.
Right. And, I also want to speak about the areas. You were just talking about that MSMEs is also something that you operate in. So how do you scale? As of now, of course, it's a big retail and urban trend. But how do you take it beyond that in tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 cities where there are still offices and people would like to, have facilities like the vending machines?
In fact, I would say that our biggest growth in last year also came from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, right? And you would not even have heard of names of cities like Jharsuguda, Tikri, Sambalpur, Vapi, Kutch. We are even there at Bhuj at a wind plant which is about 5 kilometers from border, right? We are there in a refinery in Guwahati, right? We are there in a boys hostel in Kashipur in Uttarakhand, right? So if you look at the breadth of locations that we cater to today, right? I think we've already arrived in tier 2, tier 3 cities. The tier 2, tier 3 consumer is already demanding. They are aspirational. It's no more a vanity thing for them. They aspire for products and they have so much exposure through social media and everything about the new age D2C brands. So when they see those new age D2C brands on our vending machine, they immediately adapt to the technology, they immediately start using it. And today, to be able to help those consumers, we offer our kiosk interface in 9 different languages to be able to cater to a consumer working in a factory in, say, a city like Jharsuguda, to be able to read the kiosk in Odia, right? So that is, I would say, it's a win-win for both, for the consumer because they are able to experience that kind of an e-commerce. In fact, I would say a lot of consumers who today come on Dalchini platform, for them, their first e-commerce transaction happen on vending machines because there is no quick commerce, there is no food delivery apps in those cities.
Right. So that's about, you've already marked your arrival in tier 2, tier 3. But what about taking your product international? Globally, are you looking at licensing Dalgenie OS?
And in fact, I would say a lot of companies have asked us from countries like Africa, Pakistan, Middle East, right? They have already approached us looking at the kind of feedback, the kind of reviews that they hear about our product. And I would say one very important aspect of our business that we are able to offer 6 meals a day combination from our vending machine, right? It is no more about just packaged food, beverages, or water from the vending machine. You can get a samosa to a sandwich to a paratha, everything. So you need something for your morning breakfast to maybe midnight cravings, everything is available. Now, to do that, is there something that we have done we are not food technologists, right? We are pure tech people over here. So we have built technology to solve that problem. And hence, on your question, yes, we are getting requests from people. But I think as a company, we are very fundamentally, as a DNA of an organization, like I mentioned, that we've turned profitable. Our focus is first to be able to grow to maybe a 1,000 crore run rate in India and then focus
And
on
how soon for
international
that?
market. Probably sooner. We may have to do another round over here.
I was just about to ask that one. Do you think this 11,000 number, that the target that you have set out, could this include your, probably global sales?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. And secondly, about, the funding round that you were talking about, do you think in 2027 you could be going for an IPO like your peers, or do you think you might need another funding round, say Series B, to fund this 11,000 machines?
So we would want to go for an IPO once we are at a 1,000 crore run rate, because that is what we have set as a target internally, that in next 2 to 3 years we achieve that run rate number and then plan for an IPO, not before that.
Understood. And just about your experience, I want to talk about. You came from Paytm to build Dalchini, right? Now, if the last decade that was defined by digital payments, do you think the next one could be, defined by autonomous retail?
See, it is about consumers first experiencing form of distribution. So first they saw payments getting digitalized. Now e-commerce, quick commerce came in, so all their fulfillment started happening digitally, right? Then when quick commerce came, it became faster. And vending machines is instant. It's not even 10 minutes, right? So eventually consumer would switch to different modes at different point in time. They may not 100% switch to quick commerce and just forget general trade or e-commerce also. Every form of retail have their own plus and minus, right? And when I say that when you are out of home, right, this form of retail, the autonomous retail, is actually best suited to serve most of the requirements of the consumer. So,
understood. And lastly, before I let you go, just want to understand, given the kind of geopolitical situation that we have, the Prime Minister has also requested companies, if work from home can be implemented for a couple of days in the week. If people start doing that, do you think there's still enough demand for your machines if people stay back at home? How do you see the demand panning out, and how could that impact the business?
see, nobody knows what happens in future, but I can only draw one clue from what happened the lockdown when it was implemented during COVID time. Our biggest pivots happened during those times, right? understanding of and discovering new markets happened during COVID time, when we were just prior to COVID only focused on offices, right? And immediately after that, during 2021, I still remember April 21, we deployed our first 50 vending machines in Reliance Jamnagar, which is world largest refinery. Now there we saw that this demand is not only for people who are there in IT companies or in offices, working in corporate offices, but actually they're in MSME segment, into factories, industries, right? And today, as we stand 4 years, 5 years after that, today about 35% of our vending machines are actually deployed in such office, such factory complexes, MSME as a segment. They will never be going on work from home because they are the ones who work on the workshops, right? They need to be there at their offices, at their workplaces to be able to perform their duties, right? So I think, yes, a segment of them would go work from home. But what I see even then, right, that when people go for any such kind of work from home, right, even in corporate offices, the demand increases, right? It may temporarily go up and down for 1 or 2 days, but the days when the consumers are there, it only increases the demands on those days.
Understood. All right. Thank you, Prerna. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Big Business Bet on WION.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Dalchini's growth reflects a larger shift in how Indians are consuming everyday products. And now the big question remains how scalable it is and if profitability will remain sustainable. That was Ms. Prerna Kalra of Dalchini Technologies with me on WION on Big Business Bet.